He was addressing workers there at that factory that distributes cat equipment in Missouri, and he, of course, referenced the cemetery issues that have been happening with the Jewish stones being overturned, the vandalism there that has happened in the St. Louis community against the Jewish community, as well as Jewish community centers that have been threatened recently. Back here with me, Steve Cortes and Ethan Bearman. You know, guys, people have criticized the president for not doing enough to speak out against these horrible, horrible acts. I was just talking with someone who lives in Israel, has also lived in the U.S., is actually originally from Brooklyn, and he felt very strongly that the president is doing what needs to be done. And I would stress that perhaps, Ethan, that also the vice president is doing what needs to be done at this time as well. How do you see it?
Yeah, I greatly appreciate what Vice President Pence just said in the speech. I do want to say, though, you know, there are 69 separate threats just this year already against Jewish community centers, including back in my hometown, original hometown, Minneapolis, St. Paul. This is a problem. It has increased in number in the last 12 to 18 months. I also want to thank Muslims in St. Louis for helping to raise money to repair the cemetery in St. Louis. But I do have one problem. I do not believe that President Trump, is anti-Semitic in any way, shape, or form. But language, when we talk about the others, like when he kicked off the campaign talking about Mexico sending us their rapists, when we start isolating or singling out Muslims in any way, shape, or form, he can do an even better job of not using language like that from here on out, even apologizing for what he has said in the past. But he is, thus far, showing he's a good friend to Israel, and I have confidence that we are going to be doing a better job at the United Nations to start stamping out Jew hatred that's starting there and works its way all the way down around the world.
Steve, you want to respond to that?
Yes, you know, I would say first that I'm so happy that Vice President Pence, not only did he denounce anti-Semitism, as well he should, and whether it's in present day or in history, but he also celebrated what America has done to defeat hatred around the world. You know, I've got 4 kids in school, and unfortunately in their textbooks, they learn a lot more about the problems of America and the disgraces, some of them real, of American history, and they rarely learn about the victories of America. And I'm so glad that he mentioned the fact that it was American GIs who liberated so many of those concentration camps, who liberated Jewish Europeans from the tyranny of Nazism and the world from Nazism. So I'm glad he went down that route. To get to the present day with Donald Trump, I do think at times there's a double standard. I can tell you, as someone who appeared constantly on TV for his campaign.
I got to leave it there, Steve. Unfortunately, we're out of time, but you're right. We have done a lot of good, and we should be proud of that. Thank you so much, Steve and Ethan. We're going to be right back.